Hey everyone, this is Dylan, and today I'm going to be doing a movie review for you guys. So the movie I'm doing a review of today is Scary Movie. So Scary Movie was released on July 7th in the year 2000, so this month it is celebrating its 20th anniversary. It was directed by Keenan Ivory Wayans and written by Marlon and Sean Wayans. It was really a Wayans family affair, and it stars Anna Faris as Cindy, Marlon Wayans as Shorty, Regina Hall as Brenda, and Shannon Elizabeth as Buffy. So if you aren't familiar with Scary Movie, it is a parody of scary movies. So the big two movies that the first Scary Movie parodies are the Scream franchise. There's a little bit of Scream 2 thrown in there, but it's mostly Scream 1. And then also I Know What You Did Last Summer. And then there's also a couple other things that are sprinkled in. So some of the things that I saw were, I wrote a couple of them down. There's like a Dawson's Creek parody where the guy who plays Dawson somebody from Dawson's Creek like climbs up the ladder into Cindy's house and is like, oh, wrong set. And I guess that's a parody because I think almost all the things that they're parodying in a Scary Movie, at least all the main things, are Kevin Williamson done. He wrote all of them. He wrote The Scream. He wrote I Know What You Did Last Summer, and he wrote Dawson's Creek. There was also a little bit of a parody of, well, it's not a little bit, it was a parody of one of the final scenes from the Blair Witch Project, where Heather's holding this camera and it's like super close to her face and she's like crying and sobbing and stuff. And so they do the same thing with the Gail Weathers character, which I believe her name is Gail Hailstorm. And she's like, has a river of blood, she has a river of snot coming out of her nose, so that was kind of like the parody of that. I think that's something that's interesting about this movie, is that it is a satire on horror just as much as Scream was a satire on horror. This is just taking it to a more outright comedic territory. And I thought that some of the, I think Scream set the stage for this kind of type of movie, but I think that this movie took it above and beyond what Scream did. It did make it outright funny. So basically, the synopsis of this movie is more or less the same as Scream. So you have Cindy, who has, there's a bunch of people that end up dying in her like little friend group, and they're trying to figure out who's killing people. But yeah, it's essentially the exact same plot as Scream, with a couple other plot elements from I Know What You Did Last Summer and a couple other movies thrown in there. So now let's get into what I liked. There are parts of this movie that are funny, that are hilarious. I think that the opening scene, which was with Carmen Electra, who is parodying Drew Barrymore, basically in Scream. So one of the most funny things is when she like runs out the door to escape, and there's a sign that says, safety is that way and death is that way, and she runs towards the death thing because that's what people in scary movies do. They don't take the safe route, which is dumb in general, but if you didn't do it, then there isn't a movie. But that also ties into a little bit of the things that I think that this movie is like a little... So I didn't remember the humor in these movies being as raunchy or like teenage humor, like middle school humor, as what it actually is. That's not like my preferred type of humor. So I would have preferred there to be a little bit more sophisticated humor in this. I understand. Well, I mean, this was an R-rated movie, so I mean, they're not trying to get the 13-year-olds to go to the movies. So I'm not sure why they went such a like middle school joke route, which I don't know. I just thought that it was kind of, I mean, here or there, it would have been fine, but this is like a significant portion of this movie is that kind of raunchy teenage humor. And I just didn't think it was that good. Oh, also, I just wanted to say one of my favorite scenes, which in this movie, which is also a ripoff of the a scene from the Monty Python and the Holy Grail with the Black Knight, I believe, is Buffy in this locker room. She's like, "Is it time for me to beg for my life and plead?" And then he like stabs her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm so scared," and stuff like that. It's a hilarious scene. I would definitely recommend checking it out. You could probably find clips of it on YouTube if you don't want to watch the entire movie. And then one of the final things that I thought was actually pretty bad and would not have been able to be a part of this movie if it were to come out today is the Doofy character. It was quite problematic in its depiction, and I was very uneasy about it. Doofy was the butt of a lot of jokes, and I think that was would not have fly today. And then to have the ending revolve around Doofy, I think is just kind of demonizes the character, and I just think that would have been a nightmare if that were to have come out today. Also, which I don't know if I've ever seen it before, but there is a end credit sequence in this movie, which it's kind of interesting considering that this movie came out in 2000. I don't know if end credit sequences were around. I usually, unless I know that there's an end credit sequence, I don't watch the credits. But I happened to finish this movie and was on my phone or something watching a video, and then I was like, what the heck, there's an end credit sequence? And basically it's a callback to a joke with, it has Doofy in it, and a vacuum cleaner, and it's pretty raunchy, but there was a callback to a joke that they made in the movie, and yeah, so there was that, and if you've never seen it, now you know that there's one there. But yeah, let's talk about what other people thought of this movie. So on Letterboxd, it has a 2.8 out of 5. On Rotten Tomatoes, it has a 53% critic score and a 43% audience score. And it got a cinema score of a B-. For me, I think that this movie is a solid C. So if you are interested in watching this and don't already own it, you can stream it on Tubi, which is a free app or website that you can go on and watch movies and television shows. So be sure to check that out if you're interested. So that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. And remember, if you're not already subscribed and you'd like to be, please hit that subscribe button down below. And if you like this video, give it a like. Thank you guys for watching and have a great day. Bye.